Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. I am working in my Disney Fantasy Cruise album, and I'm also using the sketch from, what is this date? Day 16. Here we go. From 30 Days of Sketches. This sketch was made by Angie Alexchek. I'm not exactly sure. I probably butchered her last name, but it is a single photo layout, and I do have a single photo in here. Which is going to be an airplane one. Love my airplane photos. You guys know that. I still haven't recut my airplane stencil because I was hoping as I was going through things in this room, it would pop up somewhere, but it hasn't yet. So I'm not exactly sure where it got itself off to. But anyway, that's the sketch I'm going to use. This is the photo. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I am going to cheat a little bit. I went ahead and grabbed a 49 and Market paper that already had these circles on them. So that gives me a good base to really create this layout. I decided that I was going to add a little bit more though, right? Like this wasn't enough for me. So I'm going to do some Nouveau drops, and I'm just going to do these circles on top of the circles that are already there. I have this blue color, then I have this silver color, and the silver, some of it I get a little crazy with. As you can see, some of those lines are a little whoa. So I am going to use my finger and wipe those bad boys right on off of there. So that sparkly glitter in that those Nouveau drops is going to stick everywhere to everything. And that is kind of just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is sometimes. But then I decided that I needed something else, so I'm going to grab this black color or dark gray. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but I'm going to add those around too. And then again, I got a little crazy with it with that hump up there on kind of like the left side of the circle, so I had to do a couple more lines of black than I originally planned on, but it worked out perfectly great. I am going to add some more splatter on here as well. Felt like there needed to be a bit more. So once I splatter out in a couple of colors, I'm thinking, yeah, I am liking this a lot. It doesn't matter that there is a big old glob of the silver over here on that left side of the circle, because I am going to cover that up. So I've got this 4x6 card. It is a bright, fun, colorful card. It's got very primary colors on it. It kind of screams Disney to me, you guys. So I am going to map my photo on that. I did trim down the photo a little bit. Again, this is a photo that I take almost every single time I'm on an airplane, and I scrapbook it almost every single time. So you guys, I am definitely not stressing about cutting off some of the scenery. I'm going to create those straight lines off to the left-hand side of the photo in the sketch. I'm going to use some film strip and then this sparkly sticker, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want this to land for my photo. Ultimately, I decided I liked these longer bits kind of sticking up out of the photo. Trying to test it out there, dry fit it, because this background is wet. I don't mind working on a wet background whatsoever. This little bit of airplane paper I used on another layout, and I pulled, I'm not gonna lie, I pulled the scrap out of the trash. It was sitting right on the top, and I happened to look over and I was like, oh, that might work. So I filled in some of that gap with the lines right there. And you can see tiny little bits of the airplanes on that paper. It's not screaming airplane at you, but I know it's airplane paper, so it does work for me. I am going through my stars, banners, and fireworks bin. I haven't labeled these things yet because I just want to make sure that when I was initially sorting all of my Disney stuff, I want to make sure that that is actually how I think while I'm scrapbooking, right? So each of these little plastic things, these little photo holders, have a Post-it note attached to it with what I have called it. So I am working through that I'll probably do it like a week or so more just to see where my head's at when I'm thinking about Disney products that I want to use. And then I'm going to use my label maker and throw some labels on these little plastic bad boys. And then I have to make the big decision of whether I'm going to leave my Disney stuff on a cart or put it back onto the bookshelves. I have not figured that out. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure, you guys, right? Like, I just don't know. So now I am going through that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to bring in. I did add this chipboard that says time for fun. Again, I'm covering up part of the engine cowling. Does not matter in this situation. I know what an engine cowling looks like. Got a ton of the photos. So now I'm going to use my punch. I'm going to punch out a Mickey head. I thought he would be cute tucked in here with this starry bit that's over here on the right hand side. As you can see in the sketch, there is decoration right there. There's also some decoration up here at the top. And that's where I have some more starry bits, and I will throw another Mickey head up there. I am going to add some enamel dots to really bring your eye to 3 places. This is, when I look at this layout, it looks more like a square, even though this is a big old circle, right? Like, to me, it reads actually more like a rhombus, but whatever, where your eye is drawn to, or at least where my eye is drawn to. I feel like if I would have put that Mickey head and the starry bits and the enamel dots up here in this right-hand corner, actually on the big circle, it would have felt more like a circle. But I have 4 points on this layout. After it's finished, I have 4 points where my eye is drawn to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I thought that this was hilarious to put best ride ever on here. And then this is where I'm going to bring in the enamel dots. I thought about going and getting some black enamel dots, but ultimately, since I have that yellow film strip over here on the left side of the photo, and there's yellow in that stripy paper that I did my photo mat on, I felt like yellow would be a good color here. Plus, yellow and blue together look good anyway. So I get those enamel dots on there, and now I have to figure out what else I'm going to do to this layout, right? I pull out my big words, which is what the phrase on the Post-it note on this photo holder says. So these are like big words. I also have small words. And I'm just trying out a couple of them to see how they work. I end up using the airplane one anyway that says memories. Kind of looks like a like the old boards that used to be in the airport. So I'm going to pop that down there. I did toy with the idea of putting it on top of the photograph. I wouldn't have been covering up anything. It just is some clouds right there. But I ended up doing it over top of the photograph. I grabbed this little die cut that was sitting out on my desk and popped that on there. And then I look and I'm like, oh, I've got my paper clips. We got these when we went to Boeing. And just for future reference, I call it Boing. So yeah, so we got these when we went to Boing, and I love them. They're airplane paper clips. Got a whole jug of them for $5. Plus a cute little tin that says Boing on it. So anyway, you guys, here are some close-ups. Once these Nuvo things dry, it'll add, I mean, it adds texture now, but there will be texture you can touch on the page once they're dry. Don't touch it now, you get all over your fingers. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.